guys, it's Shin Ohtake from maxworkouts.com. It's a little dog, Peanut. He's just going to hang out while I talk to you for a second. If you guys have been reading my blog for a while, you guys know that I'm a huge fan of full body overall high intensity workouts, and I'm not a big fan of doing any type of isolated movements. That also includes isolated movements for the abdominals, like crunches and sit-ups and things like that. But I do get many questions on, people always ask me, how do I get rid of, the belly fat and the little, the love handles and things like that. And my question has always been, and it will always be, or my answer has always been, the best way to do that is to get rid of body fat through doing high intensity, full body exercises. That is the best way to do it. That is the best way to get rid of fat, overall fat, including belly fat. But I still do get, people asking me, what types of ab exercises, if you were going to do ab exercises, what types of ab exercises would I recommend? So if you're one of those that still, do like to do ab exercises, I do have a few that I recommend. But today in particular, I wanted to show something that is simple, that you can do at home with minimal equipment. Actually, you don't need any equipment except for a couple pieces of towel and a pillow. It's called the Janda Situps, and I'm going to show you why it's good, why it's effective, and show you how to do it. So, Dr. Janda is a world-renowned exercise physiologist from Czechoslovakia, and he came up with a sit-up that minimizes the use of the hip flexors. The hip flexors are sort of like the bad guy when it comes to doing sit-ups, because when it contracts, it actually compresses your low back, and it can really do some damage in your low back. So he came up with this sit-up that minimizes the use of the hip flexors. But before I do, I'm going to show you a quick way to make your own lumbar support. The lumbar support is great because it supports your low back and keeps the natural curve of your low back when you're doing the sit-ups. That does two things. It helps obviously support your low back, and also helps minimize the tilting of the pelvis, which also helps minimize the recruitment of the hip flexors. So you can see I have just a piece of towel, and I'm just rolling it up, and as such, so I have two towels, right? And you're going to need a semi-firm pillow. This is just my bedroom, I think, to cover off. What you're going to do is you're going to put the two towels side by side, as such, right? And then I'm going to put the pillow on there. I'm going to sit on one end of the pillow. I'm going to lie down, and it's gonna smush down a little bit. It should be fine, but it should give me enough support to support my low back while I'm doing the sit-ups. Okay. Everything should be in neutral position, and again, pushing down on your feet. You're gonna come on up, curl, nice and slow, up, and then all the way back down. The great thing about having the lumbar support is that you are fully extending your abdominal muscles, and you're able to fully contract the abdominal muscles, unlike a crunch where you're only doing partial crunches, right? And then by pushing down on the floor, you're engaging your hamstrings and your glutes, and effectively you're going to minimize the recruitment of the hip flexors, right? Up and down. Up and down. This is a lot harder than it looks, especially the pushing your feet down on the floor. The more you can push down, the better. And you can actually do this. It might be easier if you do with a partner initially. So I'm going to have my wife come on over here. This is Susan and Peanut. So my wife's going to sit down in front of me. And what she's going to do is she's going to wrap her arms around my calf, and she's going to pull up. So, right, my natural instinct is to pull down on it. That's going to engage my hamstrings and my glutes. So she's going to pull up. While she's doing that, I'm going to go down and come on up and slowly come on down. You can do, initially you probably want to start with your arms in between your legs because it's easier. back down. As you get more advanced, you can put your hands behind your head and come on down and relax. Good, thank you. So again, key points. Make sure that you're recruiting the hamstrings and your glutes by pushing down on the floor. If you have a partner to begin with, it's probably easier to do initially. So have the partner grab behind your calf. They're going to pull up while you push down onto the floor. That will automatically engage your hamstrings and your glutes. The reason why you want to do that is because you want to minimize the recruitment of your hip flexors, which will allow isolation, better contraction and isolation at your abs. The lumbar support is going to allow you to stretch out your abs fully, and when you contract, it's going to allow you to contract your abdominals in fully. So unlike doing crunches and stuff where you're doing partial contractions, this will allow you to do full contractions. So that's it. That's the Janda Situps with a lumbar support. And as you can see, Peanut wants to play. He doesn't want to do sit-ups. All he wants to do is play. So that's it for now. So try it out and see if you like it.